You followed the guide. You converted BIOS to UEFI for Windows 11. You restarted. And now you're staring at this. Reboot and select proper boot device. Stop. Don't panic. Your files are safe. Your SSD isn't broken. You haven't bricked your PC. This happens because your motherboard is still hunting for an old legacy boot record that no longer exists. In the next few minutes, I'll show you 3 fixes, and one of them is the one most tutorials skip, which is exactly why you're still stuck. Quick 15 seconds on why this happens. When you convert MBR to GPT, Windows needs a small special partition, called the EFI system partition to boot. If your BIOS is still pointed at the old boot entry, or that partition's missing, you get this exact screen. Let's fix it, starting with the fastest possible solution. First, restart your PC and mash delete, or F2, check your motherboard brand on screen right now, if you're not sure. Once you're in, go to the Boot tab, and find Boot Option Priorities. Here's the mistake almost everyone makes. They select their SSD by name, like Samsung 970 EVO, or something, as boot priority number 1. That's the legacy way. Since you're on UEFI now, you need this instead. Select Windows Boot Manager, move it to position 1, then press F10 to save and exit. If your PC boots into Windows, great, you're done. Skip to the end, and let me know in the comments. If you're still seeing that black screen, keep watching. If the boot order didn't fix it, your motherboard might still be pretending it's an old school PC. Look for a setting called CSM, that stands for Compatibility Support Module. Since your disk is now GPT for UEFI, set CSM to disabled. On some boards you'll also see Storage Boot Option Control, set that to UEFI only as well. Save and exit again with F10. And see if it boots. Still stuck? This next one is the fix most videos don't show you, and it's usually the real answer. Here's the truth. Most tutorials stop at Bootrec Commands. Those help sometimes, but they're built for the old MBR system. If your EFI partition is missing, or damaged after UEFI conversion, Bootrec alone often won't save you. So we're doing this the right way. You'll need a Windows bootable USB. If you don't have one, links in the top right corner and pinned comment. Quick video on making one with Rufus. Next, plug in your Windows bootable USB, and boot into it. Once the installer window is opened, click Next. Click Repair your computer. Then Troubleshoot. Then Command Prompt. First, let's try with basic commands. Type bootrec/fixmbr, and hit Enter key. Once you see output of the command, type the next command. Type bootrec/fixboot, and hit Enter key. Type bootrec/rebuildbcd, and hit Enter key. If asked for confirmation, press Y on the keyboard. If you're still stuck, this is the part that actually rebuilds your missing EFI partition. Follow exactly. Type Diskpart, and press Enter key. Type list disk, and hit Enter key. You can see your drive listed here. Disk 0 is typically your main Windows drive. The asterisk indicates a GPT formatted disk. You can find it easily by the asterisk symbol next to the disk. Once you identify the correct system disk, note down its number, like disk 0, or maybe disk 1, or something. Type select disk 0, and hit Enter key. Once the disk is selected, now we have to look for a small partition. To do this, type list partition, and press Enter key. Now we have to look for a small partition, around 100 to 260 megabytes, labeled System or EFI, that's your target. Type, select Partition 1, to select the EFI partition. Once the EFI partition is selected, format it as FAT32 by using this command. Type, format quickfs, equal, FAT32. If no EFI partition exists at all, don't worry, comment below and I'll walk you through creating one from scratch. Now, we have to assign letter to this partition, by using this command. Assign letter, equal, S, and hit enter key. Once the letter is assigned, exit the Diskpart utility, by typing exit command. Now type this command. After entering command, press enter key. This command rebuilds your Windows boot files directly onto the correct EFI partition. Restart, remove the USB, and you should see the Windows logo. Recap, fix your boot priority. Disable CSM. And if that's still not enough, rebuild your EFI partition. That third one solves it for almost everyone who's still stuck after the first two. If this saved your PC, hit like and comment lifesaver below. It helps more people find this exact fix.